Hi, welcome back to the Truth Doctor Show. My name is Dr. Courtney Tracy. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and a doctor of clinical psychology. And today I'm reacting to the finale of HBO's The Idol. And if you want to know my take on what the hell the hairbrush meant at the end of this final season, then stay tuned. The following episode contains violence, nudity, and sexual content that may be disturbing to viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Tell nobody what I told you.
She's really honed her skill.
We don't gotta be in love now. We don't gotta be in love now.
We don't have to be in love. I don't have to be the one. That is obviously a play on many different situations that have happened in this show. Jocelyn's childhood development taught her that there is this type of tough love that can make you move forward and become successful in life.
Her favorite was probably hitting me with a hairbrush.
Why'd she do that?
To focus. She did it as like a form of motivation, I guess.
These lyrics can apply to Jocelyn and her mother, to Tedros and Jocelyn, but now also from Jocelyn to Tedros. She's saying, we don't have to be together. I just need you to give me tough love, which is the kind of love that pushes me forward. And Tedros is falling apart. We know that in one of his prior relationships with his ex-girlfriend, apparently when she tried to sort of escape his control, he held her hostage for 3 days and attacked her.
Held her hostage for 3 days and beat the living out of her.
But now he's in a position where Jocelyn does hold the power. All of his crew are at her house. There's a spotlight that's on her, so he can only act in so many ways or else he will lose his power completely. So he's sort of in this submissive role that he's not used to. On top of that, they've also been using substances for a long time. Tedros is likely very dysregulated psychologically and physiologically, and I don't know what's about to go down, but it's probably not going to be good.
Close out the fucking chapter.
Getting what you need and
Getting
bye-bye,
what you need,
satisfied.
saying bye-bye. You know, Tedros has been numbing with substances this whole series. He's very
Joss.
seemingly incapable of regulating himself.
Sounds good. Bring it back. I want to hear that part again.
You know, I think you should go.
You want me to leave? You're gonna kick out your only source of inspiration?
Tedros,
You want to kill the soul in the room?
I'm done with you.
The song's about me.
I'm done with
Without
you.
me, no song.
Mike, did I ever tell you about how I first met this guy? Sage, did I tell you this story? And he'd been like obsessed with me for years, like talking
Oh,
to
so
me in
she's
prison and stuff,
really
and,
upset about the
he had
Dyanne
her, like,
situation.
bring me to his club.
The
You're a
coincidence.
fucking con man and a fraud. This whole time he had this crazy fucking plan, and it worked.
Fuck
know?
you, Jocelyn.
And it worked. See, this is where it gets complicated in regards to whether or not they're trying to make Jocelyn seem like she's been manipulating Tedros this entire time.
She controls everything around her and everyone, and now she's doing it to you.
Or if she's just now starting to turn the tables on their relationship because she realizes that Tedros has been manipulating her. The way that I would interpret this situation is that there's multiple things going on. Jocelyn grew up with somebody who manipulated her, who controlled her, who abused her, who made it seem like Jocelyn would not be able to succeed without the support and really the control of her mother. In a way, she was sort of used to being manipulated, and the relationship that she had with Tedros initially was probably something that was very comfortable for her. Just because someone is capable of being manipulated doesn't mean that they can't turn and become manipulative. Human beings have a wide range of emotions, behaviors, and capabilities. She knows what this feels like, and she knows how to do this.
You wanted to find a way into my life. You wanted me to hear your artists. I did.
Yeah.
I like them. They can stay.
They can
You, on the
stay.
other hand, can go.
Now, she really has found her power again, but it's more like power through a form of revenge and control.
Hey, how's it going?
I have some concerns about the tour. I'm gonna come by at 1 o'clock and we're gonna have a chat, okay?
There's something important that I need to talk to you about.
Does it have anything to do with the tour?
No.
Great. Nothing else matters to me right now.
It's important that we acknowledge that she said right now, because she's under the assumption that the most important thing to her at this time is that her tour doesn't get canceled. Her anxiety and her focus does make sense. The problem is that there's no focus on anything else that's important in her life, including Leia, who's been there for her all along the ride and would likely be there for her in the future. It's probably really difficult for Jocelyn to see that Leia has showed up for her in the way that she has, because to her, that might not be real love. We just heard Jocelyn singing a song about tough love and how that is her kind of love. And so she might be missing the fact that Leia could be the most healthy and most supportive person for her in her life right now.
All right, listen up. Get up, get up, get up. Wake up.
Joss.
I want Ramsey and Chloe and Isaac to be my opening act.
Oh, you want them to be your opening act. That's funny. That's very funny.
All right, we have one shot, all right? One fucking shot. We're gonna put on the best fucking show they've ever seen.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Shut the fuck up!
Were you talking to my people? They're an extension of me.
Tedros, these are my fucking people now. The difference between me and him is I can actually make you a star.
Come on, Xander. You're gonna let her fucking walk all over you like before. You have a fucking gift. Don't fucking forget that, huh? Don't forget, sex sells.
Don't forget,
Giving you any
sex
attention,
sells.
You fucking lean into it.
You know, they've shown her repeatedly brushing her hair really intensely like that. That could really easily be a form of her brain sort of needing to be activated in this way, triggering a memory or something like that, that allows her to feel like she's getting pumped up, she's getting ready, she's able to perform the way that she used to perform when her mother was around. Like, her hair probably doesn't have any more knots at this point.
Okay.
You're even more beautiful.
Oh, hey, hi. I guess we're hugging now.
You guys want fucking hits? Look at this.
All right.
I got you fucking hits over here.
Hey, music to my fucking ears.
Beautiful.
We want to hear it.
It's just like, oh.
Can I get you something? Okay.
Right
Sure,
away,
water
trying
would
to
be
use
great.
sex
Thank
to
you.
sell.
That's right, I'm looking at you.
What? Dude, I've never even met you before.
Exactly. And what you did with Dyanne was fucked up.
I gave Dyanne a great deal.
No, you should have called me.
I mean, she's talented, but so is the fucking banjo boy in Deliverance. I mean, what are we doing?
I mean, this is just so weird.
There's like 40 people at the house and they're like jamming out. I don't know.
I don't give a fuck, Leia. I don't give a fuck. I'm telling you, I didn't rape anyone at Jocelyn's house. I didn't do this.
Can you just please, can you just...
Shut the fuck up.
But I'm just a little bit worried. I just want
They used to be so close to one another.
no matter how good he
Hey, get out of here.
Just talking to them like they're dogs. That was actually really indicative of the way that these people treat other human beings. When Jocelyn and Tedros were sort of going at it, trying to fight for control, when Jocelyn went into the room to tell everyone that her whole team was going to be there at 1 p.m., they were talking about these human beings, Xander, Chloe, Isaac, etc., as though they were pawns in their game.
These are my fucking people now.
And they could be treated as though they were animals. The way that Tedros just pushed the housekeepers out like as though they were dogs really just goes to show that if somebody doesn't have something that these people want, they will push them out of their lives instantaneously. And just more singing.
I gotta be honest, I'm not terribly convinced after the last 20 minutes. I fucking love Joss. But you wanna tell me that girl's sane?
Their definition of sane likely doesn't mean what we would interpret that to mean, especially when we understand the complexity of Jocelyn's mental health at this point in her life. She is significantly grieving. She is really struggling. It was not that long ago that she was having a complete breakdown, potentially in a psychosis, calling for her mother, who was no longer alive.
Mom?
What's up, John? What?
Just how sane do they actually want her to be? And not that she's insane, but what is it that they want? Do they want her to appear stable and healthy on the outside so that they can make money? Or do they want her to be stable and healthy on the inside so that she can survive and actually enjoy her life?
You hear that riff? Oh! I haven't seen shit like this since Prince. That motherfucker has a soul of Prince. And this motherfucker's in the living room.
I mean, look at him.
Nobody knows who this kid is. But you do.
They're always looked at through the lens of talent. They're never looked at through the lens of being a human being. And they're fighting over the talent. Now, this is the industry. This is all business, and that's okay. But it's not okay that it's the only way that it works. That somebody has talent, and then people just fight over that person's talent. And then if that person's talent isn't enough anymore, then that person doesn't matter anymore.
Xander, will you step out with me after this?
What?
I'm sorry.
What's
I'm
wrong?
sorry. Oh,
You okay?
Sorry, can we just talk alone for a second, please?
No, Mitch's family.
No, Mitch's family. Okay. In this industry, when someone has a dream, it's a lot easier to be manipulated. When someone says that they can help you make your dreams come true, that they can help make you a star, and all you want to be is a star, you are going to have a tendency to believe what it is that they're telling you. This is exactly why Tedros did what he did earlier on in this episode.
You gonna let her fucking cut you out of the fucking show? Huh? Come on, Xander. You gonna let her fucking walk all over you like before?
In this moment, he feels like it could finally be his time to shine. His values and his morals are being pushed to the side. Leia has obviously been the representation of values, morals, proper care, and responsibility in this series. And the fact that Xander is pushing her away in the way that he is just goes to show that he really has absorbed this semi-cult mentality, because he has this desire and this want inside of him that is being played by multiple people so that they can get ahead. It's not that this industry is detrimental to everyone. It's almost as though this industry is the most detrimental to the most vulnerable.
I've been trying to tell Jocelyn, and I can't get her to listen to me.
What, you think she doesn't already know about this?
I think Rob would do something like that.
You don't think people are capable of hiding what they really are?
I think that that is a little bit of a loaded statement, because Xander has reason to be offended by Jocelyn. Just because somebody can be manipulative doesn't mean that they're always being manipulative. But our brains like to do that. Our brains think in black and white. They create cognitive schemas, which are sort of just patterns and categories that we place people into. And black and white thinking is where someone's either good or someone's bad. And our brain does that for our protection. It will say this person is good or this person is bad, so that we don't have to think as much about whether or not that person's good or bad and how we should interact with them. And then we can either assume that somebody is going to fully act one way or fully act another way because of how they've personally treated us.
You did this? Yeah. You did this.
Yeah, this is...
I mean, it's amazing.
Oh.
No, these are my babies.
I can see it. I know it's you.
You can?
Yeah.
She can see his weakness and see that he could be easily manipulated. They are not very different, Tedros and Nikki. And obviously that's something that the show's trying to portray.
Just let's work together.
No offense, it's not about the politicking and the fucking propagandas and all that shit. This is real art,
It's not about the politics. It's not about the propaganda. It's about the fact that this is real art. And when Tedros was upset at the top of the stairs, when Jocelyn was hooking up with Rob, we saw him look back at the photo of Prince. Tedros is a human being. As much as he doesn't treat other people like human beings, he is one. And we've seen some more aspects of Tedros that kind of show who he really is behind this hard exterior, behind the way that he treats other people, behind his abusive, narcissistic, manipulative tendencies. He is someone who really enjoys the art of this industry, someone who wishes that he was in a position where his success could be acknowledged, where his abilities could be acknowledged. Now, whatever the hell happened to Tedros throughout his life that led him to treating other people the way that he does, using the amount of substances that he does, we don't know. And it's likely that we'll never know if this series doesn't get picked up for a second season. But we do know enough about Tedros to understand he has a craft that is good enough to get him as far as it's gotten him, but not good enough to become somebody like Nikki, where he has to instead resort to actual physical violence and actual cult mentality behavior, versus Nikki, who can do it sort of behind the scenes through the music industry and through her position in these people's lives.
You're brilliant. You're a little loaded, but you're brilliant.
Excellent. Wait, I just got something in my phone about a Rob. Didn't you used to date a Rob Turner? He was just accused of rape.
What?
Yeah, apparently he raped a woman, and to ensure that his actions cannot
she knows
do more
instantly
harm,
that it was Tedros, and so
we have
it wasn't
taken the necessary steps
Jocelyn.
of digitally replacing him.
Maybe I should sing something?
Yeah.
You're gonna join the hit parade?
Why the
Just
fuck not,
playing
right?
chess.
I really wanna see you. I really wanna be with you. My sweet.
You think I don't know you did this?
What?
Because you're small, and you're petty, and you're jealous. Get out.
I'm not leaving.
Then I'll call the cops.
Then I'll keep you hostage.
Then I'll
they'll
keep
fucking
you
kill you.
Not
hostage.
before I
Ooh.
fucking kill you first, bitch.
Pay him whatever the fuck he wants to get out of my life forever.
Send them off.
I'm good. All right.
Tedros thinking that Jocelyn isn't going to really care that he keeps engaging in these manipulation tactics and power differentials with her is logical. They both manipulated and abused and tortured Xander for the benefit of Jocelyn. Perhaps this is why Jocelyn's getting upset, because in this moment, it's not for the benefit of her career, but they have both engaged in similar behaviors. And again, they're both human beings. Jocelyn has engaged in really terrible behaviors and she can still get hurt. Tedros has engaged in very dangerous, very abusive behaviors, and he's still a human being that can get hurt. This entire dynamic, this entire environment that has been created for them and that they have now created for themselves makes it so easy to be dehumanized. It's something that every single one of these people use to move forward, even to the point where they're comfortable with dehumanizing themselves.
Well, she's not a human being. She's a star. And stars belong to the world.
All of this would take a lot of work to work out in therapy.
Xander's gonna open for me.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, of course he is.
Yeah, I wish that was a real moment. Jocelyn was just outside on her knees praying, perceivably to God. In an earlier episode, she was asked about God and said this.
Who do you answer to?
God.
Has she turned into trusting something like a higher power to get herself through this moment? Was she speaking to her mother in this moment? I wish we could know. It's just a little much. All right, they're taking him out. What is going on?
$500,000 for you, Mauricio Jackson. For this, you get the fuck out of our life.
She's worth so much more than money.
She's worth so much more than money.
Are you excited?
Are you
That was
excited?
fucking fire. I wish I'd brought a change of shorts. I was so worried when you threw out the whole album. Thank God, you had to go through it.
You had to go through
It's ever
it.
poured out of you. As a parent figure, I fucking couldn't be more proud of you.
As
so
a
beautiful.
parent
Oh my God.
figure,
You guys are it. You're it. There's nobody else.
there's nobody else. What about Dyanne? When they were having the conversation earlier in this series that when bad things happen to you, it's a good thing because everything is a human experience and you can use everything to your advantage.
Because by saying no, you're denying yourself an experience.
It really goes to show that they would be willing to put themselves through pain in order to come out with success. And I wonder if that's a third core belief of Jocelyn's, and we should review what they are. The first core belief that we saw be shown through the character of Jocelyn, the more that people get to know you, the more there's a reason for them to run. The second core belief was that if you're feeling hurt and threatened, it's okay to hurt and threaten other people. This third core belief could be pain is purpose. Now, just think about someone who has had these belief systems reinforced time and time again. When it comes to someone who's been as traumatized and abused as Jocelyn has used and manipulated as Jocelyn has by so many different people during so many different periods of her life, these beliefs are rooted also in significant fear, in significant concern for her survival. And her survival is solely based on her ability to be successful at this point, not necessarily her ability to be sane, healthy, happy, and actually free. So what I see when I see Jocelyn looking so happy right now and so proud of herself is that she finally accomplished what she wanted to accomplish, and perhaps the fact that she did it without her mom. But will this be sustainable? What will happen when she can't continue to enact these core beliefs where she doesn't have someone that's controlling her or that she can control? The fact that she just kicked out Tedros leads me to believe that she's gonna probably become unstable without him because she was already so unstable without her mother, and she replaced her mother with Tedros.
How much did you have to pay him?
A lot.
But he ripped up the check. She's actually alone. She accomplished everything that she wanted to accomplish by almost any means necessary and ended up alone. And is Leia leaving? As she should.
One of the writers, this guy, there's a legal problem.
What do you mean?
Well, we're going to have to hold the release of the song.
It was Jocelyn, wasn't it?
This is one of the scenes that I think it's important to reference how just because you're hurt doesn't mean you can hurt other people. Just because you've been through childhood trauma, abuse, neglect, any sort of traumatic experience doesn't mean that you are then afforded permission to harm other people. We understand Jocelyn because of at least the first 3 episodes of the series, where we got to learn about her abuse, and we got to learn to a degree the way that Jocelyn is wired, how unfortunately she is wired because of her upbringing. And at the same time, some of the people who have shown Jocelyn the most grace, the most respect, and the most humanity have been treated the worst by her. So the missing piece when it comes to her relationship with Leia and her relationship with Dyanne is that they showed her respect.
I said I would ask you first. I know it was your song.
They likely did not activate the part of Jocelyn that says this person is important for the things in my life that I find important. And what is it that Jocelyn finds important? Her career. Is Leia important for Jocelyn's career at this point? No. Is Dyanne important for Jocelyn's career at this point? No. Dyanne was actually an obstacle. And sometimes it's important if you are someone in a position of Leia and you become hurt by someone who's in a position like Jocelyn, that you set boundaries, that you leave the way that Leia left. It can be really vital for your own safety, for your own health, for your own security, and for your own awareness that you deserve to be treated with respect and acknowledged for how much respect and care you give to other people. The hairbrush. Jocelyn looking at the hairbrush is extremely indicative of the fact that she feels lonely. We know that Jocelyn is somebody that needs this relationship.
So you miss it?
Getting hit?
The motivation it gave you?
It's not that she'll always need it, but the way that she's developed right now, the way that she's conditioned, the way that she functions fundamentally is that she needs someone in a position of power for her to make sense to herself. And so her looking at this hairbrush kind of worries me because it's likely that she's eventually going to go back into some relationship that is controlling unless she comes to terms with the way that she has been developed over time.
I got a bigger story for you. My girl's in a lot of trouble, and I could use your help.
So she's at her tour? Is this going to be the opening night of her tour?
You know, I'm telling you, there's a gold mine in mental illness. This thing is worth a fortune. I'm fucking serious.
There's
Look at
a
Jocelyn.
gold mine in
All you have
mental
to do is admit
illness.
it.
All you have to
And then
do is
people feel
admit
sorry
it,
for
and
you.
then people feel sorry for you.
Sold out.
I was wondering if Jocelyn left an artist pass for me.
If Jocelyn left a pass?
I have something for Mauricio.
That makes sense to me, though. If she really gave him a ticket, she needs him.
Great night, Mr.
Because she is letting her trauma run her life.
Fucking Holly saw a thing on TMZ. The IRS is going after him now.
Oh, yeah.
For what? I don't know.
But did you see the
Oh,
music
see,
video
he
made
did
in
try.
2011?
He did try to make it on his own. They're saying that he made music videos in his 20s.
No.
It's here to see Jocelyn.
Who are you?
Tedros.
Tedros. Listen, I don't give a fuck about your past. If you muff up and you hurt her, I will hunt you down like the motherfucking dog you are.
Oh, and they just instantly put her in the white dress like Basic Instinct.
I don't like being apart.
Of course you don't. What? What?
Did you say this was the brush your mom beat you with?
I did.
It's brand new.
She made it to her opening night.
Hello, angels. Tonight is incredibly special because I have the opportunity to introduce you to the love of my life. Tedros.
They're like, what the fuck?
You're mine. Forever.
You're mine forever.
Now go stand over there.
Now go stand over there? Okay. The idol. All right, let's talk about the hairbrush scene at the end. Earlier on in this episode, we saw Jocelyn looking down at the hairbrush. Likely what she was doing was contemplating the fact that her mother was gone and she was still able to succeed. But how was she still able to succeed? In a way, she was able to succeed because of her relationship with Tedros. The way that I interpret her replacing the brush isn't that this was some complete manipulation tactic where she lied about the abuse coming from her mother so that she could form this relationship with Tedros and use his desire to control her as really her desire to control him. I think ultimately what happened was that she has moved on from that part of her life. Somehow, everything that she has gone through with Tedros allowed her to feel like she was more powerful now without her mother than with her mother. And so she didn't need the same hairbrush. She didn't need that exact memory of the abuse that she used to experience at the hand of her mother. However, she is still who she is. She's actively making a choice to live within this development, to live within this conditioning, and to replace her mother with Tedros. When people are traumatized and they become aware of how traumatized they are, how they've been conditioned, how they've developed, there really are two choices. There's the choice to heal, and there's the choice to continue functioning the way that you function because you find more benefit in that. And that's obviously what we see going on with Jocelyn. The hairbrush was a representation of her desire to be controlled and now her desire to control. Her replacing it is her saying, I want to continue to engage in this behavior, and now it's my choice. And I think that that's where they're trying to have us leave it. They're trying to have us understand that she did go through what she went through, and she's choosing to stay the person that made her because she prioritizes success over safety and health. If I had to sum up the plot of this show from a therapist perspective, I would say that this show was a story about a young woman who was severely beaten and abused by her mother, who then developed in a way where she needed to be controlled and abused in order to be successful, because that was the message that she received not only from this industry, but also from her mom. And after she lost her mom and almost lost the industry, instead of choosing to heal herself, she chose to remain within the conditioning and development that she was in and push forward, accepting that this is her life, accepting that this is who she is. And it's like, okay, how is this story actually helpful to people on this planet? Did it give us some insight into the industry? Sure. Was it insight that we didn't already know occurred in the industry? No. So what is it that we were hoping for when it came to this show? I really want to know in your comments below. And I want to know if you agree with me on the synopsis of the plot. Overall, this has been a really interesting 5-episode ride with all of you. Thank you so much for being along the journey with me. We are so excited to start a new series next week. We looked at all of your suggestions. So if you aren't already subscribed, subscribe now. And as always, I'm so glad that each and every one of you exist. No matter what your position is, no matter what you've been through in your life, you do not have to utilize your trauma and the conditioning that you've experienced to be successful. And you did not become strong because of those experiences. You were already strong to make it through them. So please keep that in mind. See you next Thursday.